What's going on YouTube? Aaron here, and in today's video I wanted to hop back in to Google Maps and compare some earlier live footage from the WFLA news coverage in the early parts of the search for Brian Laundrie. It was a highly requested topic from yesterday's video, which, by the way, a lot of you that are here now that are new, thanks for coming over from the Mel live stream. Mel, thanks for featuring my video on your live stream. I had many requests to do this, so I figured I'd hop in and do this really quick. This is not, I have a full-time job in video production and editing, and so this is kind of my thing. So I'm able to like do this quickly, but I figured I'd do this early in the morning, maybe send this over to Mel, and if he wants to use this once again on his live stream, feel free. But I wanted to do a quick recap for people. If you want to go check out yesterday's video, I show the exact location in which Brian Laundrie, which we now know Brian Laundrie's human remains, have been confirmed to have been found. At the time I recorded this video, it was just the items that had been found and potential human remains. So I'm going to briefly go over this. If you go to yesterday's video, go to the 2-minute mark and start the video there, you'll get the full recap. But I'm kind of circling with my mouse right now where the tented off or roped off section with the tent is in the Carlton Reserve. And I'm going to skip ahead, and you can see this is the section of trees right here. That's the same section of trees right there. And then if we even scrub over a little bit further, I mean, you can see the road, the curved road here is the same curved road there. I had a comment in my video yesterday asking about the bridge. So as you can see, there's a bridge right up here. I'm not seeing that bridge up here. It looks like maybe a little plot of grass, like a grassy bridge of some sort or something that would have been like right there. But maybe they built this bridge recently and it's just not showing up on the maps. But anyways, I wanted to do a recap. So now that we're 2 minutes into this video, we can go to the new information that I found. So I wanted to compare at the very end of this video, I'm going to show water levels. I found a photo, and I know the photo's gone around. A lot of people have seen it, but I want to compare water levels in September to now in October in the reserve and talk about that. But before that, I want to go to the aerial footage from September 23rd, and this is all courtesy of WFLA. I'm just reacting to their video here. I wanted to see, like, where were they searching when they first started the hunt or the search in the reserve. And this is one of the first videos I found from early on in the search. And immediately I am seeing, and let me go ahead and I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller. This body of water gave it all away. I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. So let me go ahead and show you guys how I determined that. So let me go ahead and move myself over. Sorry. I'm going to move myself over here. And I'm going to go through kind of how I determined where they ended up finding him. So on my map, my goodness. Okay, there we go. On my map, I have, this is the spot where Brian Laundrie was found. Okay, right here. This is that curved road. And so I decided to search around and try to match up this footage that you guys see over here. Okay, and it was relatively easy to find this body of water right here. And I didn't even have to line, I mean, it was immediate that I knew there was this notch in the water here that is the same notch there. And that is all I needed to know. I mean, everything else is obvious. You've got the curved road right here. As we play the video, you can see they zoom in. This is kind of where the media was focusing on, or I guess the media was setting up. Yeah, they zoom in here. You see some of the law enforcement blocking off the entrance to the reserve. And then, yeah, you see that the tree here is the same tree in the shot, and the media is lined up there. I mean, I think they even got a shot of the street, the cross street, so you can even see that. But they're zoomed in right here on this section now. As you can see, they're following this road up. They're showing all of their equipment, their airboats, all their trucks, all the things they had early on in the search efforts. You guys remember they had so many crazy vehicles. They had so many, they spent so much money out there. And so right now I want to show, this is where they had kind of set up their base camp. And so we're going to go ahead and zoom in on that now. And that would be right here. So if I pause the video and I move, let me move this over a little bit. you'll see the tents that are in, or not the tents, but the two little roofs right here. It matches up. So it was very obvious to see that this was exactly where they were starting to focus their efforts in the early stages of the search. So what I found to be interesting is matching this up with what I already knew about where they found Brian Laundrie. It's very interesting. So they were obviously much further west in their initial search. So there's that lake right there on the screen. This is that section that I just showed you where they were kind of all parking their vehicles and setting up a base camp. If we move over, way over here is where they ended up finding Brian. Way over here, like I just said, this section, this is this curved road. This is where the media was setting up in the later part of the search when they ended up actually finding the remains. You guys will remember those shots of the media right there. So I thought, you know what? How far were they from where they ended up actually finding him? So let's go ahead and do the same thing where we measure the distance. We zoom out. We go way over here in the reserve. And once again, here's the lake. Here's kind of where they were setting up their base camp. And let's just go ahead and see. And it's exactly 8.75 miles from where they found Brian. I don't know if they knew that if say the Mustang was parked here, right? When he came out, I don't know if he parked the Mustang in this area. I have yet to find a photo of the Mustang at the Carlton Reserve. Because if they had evidence that he had parked here at one point, then our story gets a little crazier because that means he ended up 8.5 miles away. If they just happened to start at this point of the reserve, then it was just purely happenstance that they honed in on it eventually. But it also makes me wonder, how did they hone in on that? Because if you look, the reserve is quite large. They could have gone all the way up here and searched. They could have, what led them to go directly east, which is my next interesting point. If we zoom out and look at the line that I just measured, guys, I got to go full face cam for this. That is a direct lateral line, like the same line of latitude. I mean, if we even look, it mirrors the road. It is parallel with the road almost perfectly. It's almost a straight line east to west. If we zoom out even more in the state of Florida, I mean, look at this. It's almost like they pinged a location initially that was hitting them with a line of latitude that they could at least be on. Or obviously this section of the land was, or this, parking lot was obviously just a good area to set up camp. It just seems super odd to me that it was so directly on the same plane that they ended up finding him. And I know I don't think they had a cell phone or anything, but if there was any sort of a ping that they got from a cell phone early on, maybe they were just getting that one kind of bit of latitude in the ping. But I mean, look at this, guys. This is just, it's wild how straight of a line this is. So it's funny to me, or not funny to me. It's just, it's intriguing to know that they ended up way over here. So obviously early on, the lawyer stated that the Laundries did end up giving information of where he likes to frequent in the reserve. So maybe they did tell them, he likes to come in off of Reisterstown Road or whatever, and go in at that entrance to the park. And then maybe that's what led them over here. But either way, for them to be in this section and then to hone in directly on this, they had to have had some sort of information that led them there. Because like I said, look at how much, why wouldn't they, did they search way up here and just know okay, yeah, we haven't seen them? It's very odd to me that they really honed in on this section. So maybe when Christopher Laundrie came out and tried to show them where he would like to frequent or hike frequently, this is where he led them. I don't know. Either way, they were led to this area, which is a very specific area. That's a pretty wild thing. So I wanted to cover two more quick things here. I know we're already at like 10 minutes, but to confirm once again, this is that location. This is that lake from a different angle. Okay. And, if we go back into the map, and we turn this, we're going to see that this is the exact angle that they're looking at in the footage. Okay, so let me go ahead and go in here. So yeah, so you can see that's the lake at the same angle. You can see the road coming down. This little triangle area is clearly dried out in this particular image, but you can see kind of the two lakes, and then this big circle right here is of course the big circle that you can kind of see there, right there. And then, like I said, that's where they were set up on camp. So it's wild that they were just so far, like, look at how straight this line is to where they ended up finding him. But like I said, go check out my video from yesterday. You guys can see in great detail what the exact location. But I wanted to touch on this. People were talking about the water levels. And this is from an early part of the search as well. I wanted to see, like, what were they kind of seeing? And this, just to kind of explain to people, I'm not even super familiar with this terrain, but I know enough to know that it's marshy, it's swampy. And even if you can see land, like for instance, you can see green here, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's no water. I mean, it could still be knee-high water just underneath all of this swampy stuff, right? So just because they say waist-high water doesn't mean you need to be seeing a glassy lake that has no vegetation coming through. This is very, very swampy water. And I just want to explain that, because like even here, this could be 6 feet of water underneath this. It's probably not, but I'm just saying it could very well be at least knee or waist high water, but you've got plants kind of coming up through the water that make it look like, oh, there can't be a foot of water there. Clearly over in this section, it's much deeper, or at the very least, much less vegetation. So, I mean, and that's why they were trekking through this. This doesn't look like there's water here, but there could be 3 feet of water. They had these huge vehicles with big 4-foot wheels on them. And though we're not seeing any like splash, it's a swamp. It's a marsh. It's definitely, there could have been some relatively deep water there. It looks relatively dry here, but I'm just trying to explain that. And then this is a photo that I saw that is really interesting, and let me just pull it up. So this is that section where they ended up finding Brian this is that curved road where the media was lining up. And this is it kind of from a different angle. This is supposedly, and I don't want to claim that this is exactly accurate, but I believe this is taken from WFLA footage. I mean, you can see there are police vehicles. This is clearly from the time when they were searching for Brian. It's not like they go out there and film a bunch of that reserve just all the time throughout the week. I mean, this was clearly from September 28th, and you can see the water is definitely way more prevalent than in this photo here. It's way more obvious that there is less water in this photo from October 20th. So we're talking about not even a full month in between these two dates, and or in between these two photos. And we're seeing a lot of water decrease. Now, I wasn't able to find this footage exactly. I'm sure I could dig deep and find it to confirm that is like exactly what it looked like. So I don't want to be sharing an altered image and have it not be accurate. So this could be an altered image, but I just wanted to show it. But anyways, that's kind of it. Oh my gosh, a 15-minute video. I'm going to upload this whole thing. I just found it to be really interesting that their initial search efforts were happening like almost 10 miles away from where they ended up finding Brian. And so there's got to be a number of things that happened. Either, like I said, his dad or his parents did provide accurate information that led them further east into the reserve. But the fact that they were just directly, and it could have just been purely coincidence, just directly on that straight line from where they were initially searching, it's crazy. But anyways, thanks for watching. I will probably dive deep into more things in relation to this case just because it is really interesting. It does feel, like I said, that the case is coming to a close, but there are so many things that we can dive into, such as this, that better explain at least what happened. So I think that there's still a lot of stuff that's going to come out that's going to be of interest. And so if there's something that I feel like covering or following, I will. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit the like button. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.